Good morning, guys. Look, I'm sorry I'm late, and it's going to be a quick one. But I'm doing the Christmas project. A big thank you to, let me see if I can remember everybody. Vanetta, Cheyenne, right? Two stalwart supporters of this channel forever and a day. A new guy, James Boudreau, was kicking in. Another longtime supporters, Arn and Chris Carter, and Gabor. And so the six of these folks came together, fully funded the Christmas project. We are going to be sending, I think, about 3,000 cookies to several hundred servicemen at the front, along with 15 loaves of bread that we're baking, and, and some trench candles that somebody just donated. So, uh, well done. Well done, guys. It's going to be nice packages for the guys. It's going to be very nice packages. In fact, because of some changes, um, we're not going to be servicing 3 units like we originally thought. We're going to be able to supply 6. Um, so we're spreading the love around as much as we can. And I thank everybody that participated in that. Um, so I was at Mega Mart this morning. That's why I'm late. Yeah. And Mega Mart is a nightmare. Anyway, um, the first order of business today is overnight missile and drone attacks, and there wasn't one. Now, that is the second consecutive night in a row that we haven't seen that. I can't remember the last time it was 2 nights in a row without a drone attack. And we know that the size of the attacks since the start of December has been about half of what they were every day in November. A little bit more, 5/8. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't know if the Ukrainians have really been that effective in striking the storage of these drones and Russia doesn't have them, or Russia has a limited amount, which you would think that they have more than a limited amount. Their production facility in Tatarstan is churning them out, and they're still buying them from the Iranians. Or at least they were, right? Before this whole Assad thing happened. Now, so I don't know. Are they saving them up and they're going to send 500 at once this weekend? I don't know. I don't know. So we'll wait and see. Now, look, the big news this morning. Just yesterday, Zelensky was at a weapons conference here in Kyiv, and he was showing off a range of new weapons, including the Peklo, which we're going to talk about, the Root, and the Palanitsa. And these are all like cruise missile drone hybrids, apparently. And they are apparently devastatingly effective. As you can see here, the Transneft oil transfer and supply depot is on fire in Bryansk, Russia. And what a fire! You're talking about 100 meters in the air, maybe more, right? What's that, about 300 feet? Yeah, about 300 feet in the air, flames shooting into the air. The thing was burning all night. As far as I know, it's still burning. Now, what this is this facility here. Now, look, you can see right there, this facility has actually been hit in the past. And one of the reasons for that, I think, is because it's right across the border. It's an easy target. It's a soft target. It doesn't have its own air defense, uh, and that may well have been why it was chosen as the first field trial for this. Now, this is what Zelensky showed off yesterday. We saw, maybe in the promotional video, maybe you can count 20 about. However, if we zoom in, these have a serial production number on them, it appears that they have at least 70 and that they are in serial production. Oh, yeah, and I look like a ghost again because the power is out. Of course it is. We're living in the dark here. Now, let's look at the map here. So you can see this is just right across the border from Ukraine. It's in Bryansk, so Kursk is over here. Here's Kursk City, here's Sumy, and this is where the Ukrainians are around Sudza. So it's a close shot. I was listening to an analyst this morning who said that these don't have the maneuverability of, say, a storm shadow. So it's likely that the Ukrainians had concerns and they wanted their first field test to be a success. So we saw maybe a little bit of overkill. They sent 10 of these missiles at the oil depot. 6 of them hit. We believe 4 were taken out by Russian air defense. And the other 6 hit the target. So it was very close to the border. It was a short range hop. It was a soft target without its own air defense. And the results were spectacular. Good first field trial. So we're going to see more of these. And Ukraine doesn't have to worry about who gave them permission to use their weapons on Russia. So fucking sick of that shit. Now, on the subject of weapons, we've seen a real change in rhetoric from the Kremlin since the Oreshnik launch. Right now, again, the Oreshnik was that intermediate range ballistic missile that they hit Dnipro with, but it wasn't loaded with any conventional explosives. Rather, it was a retrofit of an Ru-26 intercontinental ballistic missile that's supposed to have a nuclear warhead on it. Now, why did the Russians send that thing with no explosives? I think because the whole thing was a PR stunt, as has been confirmed by Russian sources, right? They had brainstorming sessions over what to do to punish America for granting authorization for long-range ATACMS. And yet Gerasimov called Biden and said, no, it had nothing to do with you. We were going to use this missile a long time ago. We made the decision a long time ago. Personally, I think that they didn't have the time to figure out how to put the explosives in, and they wanted to send the message. It's Putin again trying to leverage fear. And now he's saying that he doesn't need nuclear weapons because he's going to build a bunch of these Oreshniks, and they are going to devastate and turn Ukraine to dust. The only thing is you got to build them first. And they're $120 million a piece. $120 million a piece. And let's face facts. Technical expertise did not hang around in Russia when the war started. They all left. So you have the people that were dumb enough to stay working for you. It appears to me that all of this nonsense about the Oreshnik is just that. It's a lot of nonsense. And it is the desperate hope of this sad, pathetic old man who, in his impotence, cannot use his nukes. So he's trying to scare the world with a conventional weapon. Ooh, it's a new boogeyman, Oreshnik, motherfucker. I just want to touch on this. You may notice that the ruble has fluctuated a little bit. I want to point out that during this period where the market is closed, right? Because remember, the way that the Russians got the ruble to stabilize was they closed the market to foreign currency exchanges, right? So you can't get rubles anywhere. There's nobody buying them, nobody selling them because the biggest customer, the only real customer, is the Russian central bank. And so the ruble had stabilized at around 100. But in the last 48 hours or so, it's ticked up to 107.09, which might be confusing, right? Because we expect the price to be stable. However, I want to point out that most of the economists that I listened to had predicted that the ruble would stabilize with the market closed at between 1.7 and 1.12 seemed to be the range, about 1.10. We expected it to hover for the 6 weeks that the market is expected to be closed, for it to hover around 1.10. So this to me looks just like a market correction to where it really should be. I don't think it's anything more than that, but I'll keep an eye on it and we'll see if it keeps going. Okay, that's it for me today. Today is Wednesday, the 11th of December. It is day 1022 of Vladimir Putin's war of choice and aggression against the people of Ukraine. Thanks so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Take care.